Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Having a problem. Oh, I got plenty of spark. Well, with lots of spark, the thing to be looking at then is spark plug and then fuel. And the spark plug will tell us about the fuel also. Because if the spark plug is carboned up, it won't spark. Oh, it's really screwed up. It's got a lot of junk on it. We'll put a new plug in there. Cranking it over with it not wanting to fire and not wanting to crank right tended to flood it. And a flooded spark plug doesn't spark so good. So now with a new spark plug, we'll see what we get. Make sure that's on there securely. This little test piece, it's kind of handy because it clips onto the frame somewhere and lets you check spark. If it'll jump that much of a gap, it'll probably jump spark plug just fine. So now I got a puzzler.
Maybe it's not getting any gas. I'll try some starting fluid. Now I'm trying all kinds of things, but have you noticed that it keeps rolling after I turn off the starter? Yeah, it just keeps on rolling around.
Took a bit of doing, but I got it to run. Turns out it was more than one problem, which it usually is. The issues that I had with the starter solenoid mask some of the other issues that I was having. What happened, the last time I shut it down, the intake valve stuck open. Completely open. When I went to start it, it wasn't pulling any fuel in. Now, I thought I had run out of gas because I had run really close to running out of gas. So I put gas in it, and when I went to start it, it wouldn't turn over. It went click, click, then stopped. No more click, no more nothing. So I thought, okay, solenoid. Probably lost the starter solenoid. So I replaced the starter solenoid, which you watched me do. Then after getting the starter solenoid replaced, I tried starting it. All it did was spin really fast. And I said, wow, that solenoid made a big difference in the way the starter works. It's got a lot more power. Turns out that when the intake valve sticks open and all the cylinder is doing is pumping air in and out of the carburetor, there's not a whole lot of back pressure. So it was spinning freely and very little resistance. So that's why I thought it was working better. So by the time I pulled everything off, got the head removed, found the stuck open valve, cleaned the shaft on the valve, got everything set back up where it was supposed to be, got all the carbon out of the cylinder scraped out. It looks like it'd been running really, really rich with a lot of oil in it for a long time. So there was a lot of carbon in there. Scrape that all off, put it back together again, still no fire. What's wrong? Well, I had set the carburetor really lean. So I opened up the carburetor and tightened up everything, made sure everything was all back together, clean and ready to go. The valve is now closing, the cylinder is making compression, it's drawing gasoline in, it's firing off, and I also fixed the problem with the choke. There was an issue with the choke not closing. It's because when I put the carburetor together the last time, I put it back together again the way it was. Well, they didn't have the adjustment set correctly, and the choke plate was never closing. The arm is supposed to come all the way back, and then there's a little lever on the side of the arm that kicks the choke plate closed. Wasn't doing it. It started without the choke plate. It started just fine. If the solenoid hadn't gone out on it, I wouldn't have worked on it. I would have just kept going, and it would have probably run okay, but it wouldn't have run really well. Except for that valve sticking open the last time it shut down. Now I had to go through and fix everything. I've cleaned everything. It still has the same head gasket in it, but the bolts in the head were just about finger tight. I didn't have to use any pressure at all on the wrench to get the bolts out. Now they're torqued down, the gasket is compressed and sealing well. The gaskets on the carburetor are compressed and sealing well. All the screws and bolts are in where they belong. It should be a good running engine now. Took a full day. It's nearly dark out. I started this at 10 o'clock in the morning. So you're not going to see the whole video of all the stuff that I did because, quite frankly, I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing. I was pretty sure I was going to be scrapping out this lawnmower. No question in my mind. It was going to be junk when I was done. But it does start and run. I'm very happy. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
How you doing?
I think I got it.
Oh, good.
About ready?
Yeah, in a little bit. Maybe like 10 minutes. I give you enough time to either finish or clean up or something.